Hey guys. Hey guys, this is Domination from Team RECsurrection, and today I'm going to be bringing you a deck profile for my Jurrac deck. So, to start it off, I have 3 Guaiba, obviously, the most important card in the deck. Attack, Special Summon. That's how you go for your Exceed or Synchro plays. And I have 3 Jurrac Yolo, again, another really important card. Special Summons your Jurracs from the graveyard and is 200 defense, so it can be used for Rekindling. 2 Vela, your searcher and your Guaiba target to make the Evilzers. I have 1 Dino, gives you some draw power as well as being a 3-star tuner. Drag Alum, another tuner, has a pretty decent effect as well. Pop the card that attacks it, or makes him discard from the hand. Good either way. And I have 1 Blaster, 1 Pyrex. It's worth knowing that for Blaster, I generally tend to just use it for the pop. I don't try to special summon him because you kind of want the Jurracs to stay in the graveyard because you can easily bring them back with Aeolo or Rekindling. And if you start removing too many, it's kind of short-sighted to remove them, remove 2 of them for Blaster, and then because you don't even get to keep them on the field for more than 1 turn. And of course Pyrex, just this big boss monster. It's with Blaster, it's really easy to adjust the number if you don't have exactly 5. And lastly, I have 2 Veilers, mostly just because they're tuners. For the spells, I have 3 Fossil Dig. It's what makes this deck so consistent. Some decks don't even have 1 search card. This deck has 3. With it, it's pretty easy to, open up at least 1 dinosaur. Got 2 Molten Destruction. I'm sure a lot of people think, oh, what is this trash card? But if you really, really think about it, pretty much every monster in this deck is a fire, including the ones in the extra deck. I think I did a count earlier, and it comes out to about 30. It's like 15 in the main deck, 15 in the extra. No, it's like 10 in the extra deck, and like 20 in the main deck. It's a little ridiculous. So you start pumping out like 2200 Guaibas, 2900 Logias, 2800 Dolkas. Blaster becomes 3300. Everyone gets really huge. At 2 pot for the consistency. 2 supply unit. The deck can be pretty slow if you don't open right, so sometimes you just have to normal summon Velo and then wait for him to be destroyed. This way you get the special summon and the +1. 2 Soul Charge. This is obviously more of a mid to late game card. If you have enough Jurracs in the graveyard and enough life points, you can just go for a big push. Special summon 4 Jurracs. You can make a Logia and a Dolka. At that point, you pretty much have a total lock. 3 MST. You have to attack into stuff to make, obviously make plays, so you don't want to run into back row. Forbidden Lance, really useful, for defense and as well as, lowering attack. That way, Guaiba can get over stuff. Rekindling, it works great with Aeolos. The more you have in there, the more the better. I'm a little sad that it's that 1 now, but it still works well. 1 Book of Moon, just for utility. Flip them face down. Probably most monsters have less defense than attack. 1 Mind Control. This deck has a lot of tuners, so you can always steal opponent's monster and synchro with it. And 1 Rank of Magic Astral Force. This is more of a newer addition for this deck, and it's kind of nice in the way that let's say you have like a Logia that's used up all its overlay units, then you can at least still turn them into Solda, make something of it. It's also a great, MST bait. You just set it, someone pops it, next turn you just bring it back to your hand. It works great that way. And for the traps, I have 2 Curse of Anubis. For those who don't know what it does, it turns your opponent's all effect monsters on the field to defense position, and their defense becomes 0. So, let's say your opponent has a bunch of monsters, and you can put them all in defense and have Guaiba attack over them next turn. It's also nice, and just to make defensive plays. If your opponent's gonna OTK, you can just set them all defense mode. Get another turn out of it. 1 Survival of the Fittest. This card works very well with Guaiba. It gives them 1000 attack. If it destroys a monster, it can attack another monster. So obviously you can see that you'd be able to special summon 2 monsters that way. Yeah, one Call the Haunted. I run Soul Charge, but this is still nice every now and then. You can never have too much graveyard recursion. One Phoenix Chain. I already run two Veilers. I didn't feel like you needed more than this. And one Solemn Warning. No need to explain that. It's worth noting that, like, as you can tell, none of these traps actually, really destroy your opponent's monsters, because the idea is that you don't want your opponent to, have their monsters die. You want them to, be on the field so Guaiba can attack over them. So that's why, you don't see like any torrential or bottomless or stuff like that. So for the extra deck, I have two Lagia, two Doka. I wouldn't run more than, two of each. I feel like that's too much that way. And of course, like, as I touched earlier, one Solda. I have one Lava Volchain. It's actually pretty useful. You can, send Jurracs you want to the graveyard, or you can add stuff at the top of the deck. Add like Pyro Rex or Blaster. It works really well. Gaga Cowboy, great utility. Both two really good effects. You need to run something over or just finish someone off. Diamond Direwolf. This deck can't really pop very many cards, so this is a really nice way to spot remove cards that are troublesome. Maestroke, flipping face down. It's a very underrated ability. I know if once that Castle comes out, I'll probably take this out for that card instead. The other card's a lot better. For the synchros, I have one Starter Spark, one Crimson Blader. Don't make synchros very often, but to be frank, yeah, like level 8s aren't very easy to make, so I don't think I've made these too often, but it's still nice to have the option. And one Black Rose, probably the best level 7. Make it easily with Guaiba and Velo. Oh no, Guaiba and Dino. One Giganoto. He gets 200 attack for every Jurrac in the graveyard. Late game, he can be, enormous. One Vulcan. I'm sure people were wondering why I chose this over Goyo Guardian. Now that he's legal again, I prefer Vulcan just for the utility effect. You can bounce your Fiendish Chain, bounce your Call the Haunted, and I feel like bouncing an opponent's card is way better than what Goyo Guardian can do. And lastly, one Cadastre. Just I like having I think I had 8, 7, 6, and 5 level synchro, so you can always make whatever you need to make. So yeah, that was my Jurrac deck. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.